Eyes on the prize to get your confidence goals. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2065 of What's Up to Now, documenting the journey, talking about what I'm working on, what's worked, what hasn't worked in the last 5+ years as I moved from the offline brick and mortar corporate world of business, simultaneously working in corporate America while building and growing and supersizing, buying and selling, and being involved in at least 27 different industries offline. And then since I've come online, I've literally lost count of all, because I didn't count all the different industries and businesses I've worked with and in, both in the online and offline world. So today, a couple of pieces of content. Our idiom for supersize your business today is eye on the prize. Eyes on the prize. Actually, we want to keep both our eyes on the prize, what we're looking at, what we're working toward, what we're creating as we build and grow and supersize our business. The idiom is from the American Civil Rights Movement in the 1950s and 60s, which, wasn't a great time for America. Kind of feels like now. I said that out loud, didn't I? Sometimes it's hard to watch what goes on. I try not to watch what goes on in American politics right now because it's actually beyond belief and kind of pathetic in a lot of instances. But this idiom means to keep your eye on what it is that you want, what it is that you're trying to create. And we actually had I had a discussion with one of my consulting clients yesterday about this very topic and the importance of focusing on what we want versus what we don't want. And I ended up sharing a tool called the flip switch on Supersize Your Business, which I've probably talked about before, but maybe not. I like to share tools and techniques and strategies and exercises and things that work for me and make my life and my businesses and run better and more easily and efficiently. And there's a lot of those, right? Literally, I've come across thousands of different tools and strategies and systems and frameworks and ideas that have had an impact on me, my career, as well as my businesses and my life in general. And one of those is this flip switch thing. It helps us to go from negative to positive. It's just like switching on a light from the dark to the light, right? From the negative to the positive, from the what we don't want focus to the what we do want focus. And I know I used to do an exercise with a lot of my new coaching students, and we would talk about, hey, my first question would be, well, what is it that you want? What do you want? And I would say 90% of the people I asked that question to initially couldn't answer it. They think that they know what they want, but it would be really vague or really general. Oh, I want to be rich. I want to be comfortable. I want to be healthy. I want to be fit. I want to have energy. Whatever it was, they would want more of, but they didn't know exactly what that looked like or what the end result looked like or how they were going to go about creating more of what they wanted in their lives. And so that's one of the exercises. And I always coach people, if you don't know what you want, just start brainstorming and writing out a list, a laundry list of all the things you don't like and you don't want right now. And you just flip that around and look at the opposite of that. If I don't want to be broke, what's the opposite of that? I want to be abundant and have the money I need when I want to do what I want all the time, right? So that's like the opposite of broke is abundant and wealthy and having enough resources to never have to worry about money again. So instead of focusing on being broke, which will just keep us broke and we'll go in this never-ending cycle, we focus on what it is that we want. And then our subconscious and the universe, believe it or not, starts to find ways or shows us ways. It's up to us to act on them or not to get what we want and to move from where we are to where we want to be. That's kind of what this year's annual challenge is all about. Our goals. And if we've got goals, guess what? That's a way of focusing on what we want. And if we're working toward them a little bit every single day, we're creating them in our life. Even if we're not consciously doing something every day for all of our goals, if we're doing something toward one of our goals, I consider that a success and a win, and we're moving toward what it is that we want. That's how I define success. I define success these days so that it's easy for me to be successful and feel successful every day. Why? Because if I feel successful every day, I act like a successful person and I do the things a successful person does, and I create more and more success in my life. And so I make it easy for me to feel successful, and I make it really, really challenging and hard, almost impossible. Actually, I think it is impossible for me to actually feel like a failure. I'd have to do all this laundry list of things, all of them simultaneously for an infinite period of time before I could define myself as a failure. So that's part of why I talk about idioms so often, is it's to remind me and all of us that we decide what everything means. We get to define it and decide it and choose it for ourselves. And that's a form of personal freedom and empowerment that uh, nobody can take away from us, no matter where we are, where we live. We always have the ability to think for ourselves. And I just think it's sad when I look around and I see so many people giving away their personal power, not thinking for themselves, just blindly following or listening to the media or listening to social media or following people on social media that are clueless about what life is really about. And I guess I admit, I don't even pretend to claim I know what life is really about, but I do know that my life is about becoming a better version of myself and setting a good example as much as possible for other people, because I want to create a positive ripple effect in the world and make the world a better place. And I do that because it feels good, right? It feels good to me to know that I'm making a difference and I can make the world a better place, even if it's just one granddaughter at a time or one person at a time or one smile at a time at a stranger. All of that puts more positive energy into the world. And I think it's critical and important that we all do that. We all play our part to make the world a better place. It's easy to be lazy and selfish and just worry about yourself and not care about the rest of the world or about people around you. But if you're here to serve people and you want to make the world a better place, that's just as easy to do too. And it's a lot more fun and a lot more rewarding. That's it. That's all I've got today. Any questions, hit me up. A bunch of new stuff in the works. Always new stuff in the works, which is exciting and fun. If you want to know what those things are, you can always ask me, right? Just ask. And ask and it shall be given. Ask and the door will be open for you. Da, 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 da. All right. Have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.